What is up, guys? In today's video we are going to be spectating random players in Fortnite Zero Build for the first time this season. As always, if you guys do enjoy this video, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you like to see more, and comment down below what you're excited to see in tomorrow's update. Tomorrow we are getting the Season 7 and 8 updates to Fortnite OG. This is probably going to bring things like planes, the pirate cannons, I believe also the minigun and the guided missile launcher, or not, sorry, the guided missile launcher, the quad launcher are supposed to be coming tomorrow, as well as other items. At the start of the season, Fortnite put out like some patch notes detailing what would come week to week, you know? And with last week's update, we got Season 6, and there was things included in yesterday's update that weren't actually a part of the patch notes. So I expect Season 7 and 8 to kind of go the same way, where they'll include several items more than what was actually listed ahead of time. So that's super exciting. Where is this person at, bro? Our house is getting blown up. Everyone is dying around me. Thank you. Alright, we are going to be on board with Sean, I believe is how you say this person's name. We got the heavy AR. Spectate them. That was a big change that came with last week's update. The heavy AR is pretty good. I've been using it a lot. I think as far as low rarity ARs go, like white to blue, I would rather have the heavy AR than the regular in Zero Build. And then when it comes to purple and gold, like when you get the purple and gold heavy or like the Scar as regular AR, I can kind of go either way. It just depends. But I think I do enjoy using the heavy AR more than the regular, at least in Zero Build. In builds, I still prefer the regular. But Zero Build is pretty nice for just getting, you know, that's a solid amount of damage in just a few shots. And I feel like a lot of times with the regular AR, I was kind of tap firing more often anyways. I like kind of mid-range, and the heavy AR just kind of like suits that plays down more, where like you're going to tap either way, but like the heavy has more damage to kind of reward you for that tapping. This guy just pushes up, gets those free cleanup kills. There are people fighting on the other side of the POI, and one of the things you really have to worry about with like a populated spot like this is that like every time you fight somebody, you're not like susceptible to third parties. So you notice that player like got that kill, and then he immediately kind of looked towards that other side of the POI where those shots were coming from. Didn't really check shops afterwards, which, you know, maybe if there was somebody pushing from shops, that wouldn't be great. But it's, I like that they didn't just like get stuck looting. Like all too often making these videos, I see someone get a kill and they're still kind of like in danger, but they let their guard down and just start looting right away. And then, you know, they get snuck up on by the third parties. Broke shield on that. This person's probably pretty weak because he broke their shield and nice. Yeah, this guy's really good aim. He broke their shield in just 2 shots, and like there's overshoot in Zero Build, so if I am this early in the game and I'm shooting somebody and I break their shield with just 2 shots, or just at any point, if you break somebody's shield in 2 shots, they didn't have any shield other than the overshield. And so that should be a kill. Unfortunately, this player is going to die here, and that is kind of the nature of the current version of Fortnite. That player seemed decent. Their aim was solid, at least from what we had seen. And, you know, they get snuck up on by somebody with a boogie bomb, and then it's game over. Player gonna hit another boogie here. He is. That's one of the more like unfortunate things about this season, is that I feel like it's just like very punishing, like, and kind of like random at times. Like almost anything can go wrong at any point in time. You see there, like all of that just transpired started because of that first person driving the ATK. We were on board with that red knight. That person driving the ATK, you know, got eliminated by them. They go to get that loot, get third-partied by somebody hiding with boogies, and then that person gets third-partied, and then that person gets third-partied, and now we're on board with, I think it's supposed to be like Eclipse? And they have the heavy AR auto shotgun RPG set up with the grappler. I really like this grappler. I think it's super good. Some people are still kind of not accustomed to using it, but I think it's a really solid mobility item. And he can combine this with the RPG. If he grapples up in a fight, he can just RPG down on them and then switch to the attack and get that kill. The RPGs are very good this season, and that's kind of one of the things I was saying. Like, the game is super punishing right now. It kind of feels like there's a lot of ways to lose and not have it necessarily be your fault. Like, you know, you could get boogie bombed and then killed, and like, sure, maybe you shouldn't have gotten boogie bombed, you know. You can get RPG'd in a fight, and like there's not that much counterplay to it if you're in a close range fight. There's a lot of like cheesy items in the loot pool right now, and that is kind of, like, there always is, but I feel like this season is a lot more than usual. There's a lot of supply drops over here, which is great for this player. Seems like he's concerned about getting finding this player up top. And this can be a free kill. He can rift to it, or he can just grapple to it. I think you grapple all the way to the top and look down, especially since you have this RPG. Yeah, GG. You didn't even need to go all the way to the top. But that's kind of like what I was talking about with the RPG. Like, if you get that timing down with the grappler, then RPG into shotgun is just so hard for that other player to play out. And there is a rift here. I think one of the biggest things that can change your gameplay in Zero Build this season, if you haven't been taking advantage of them, is going to be the rifts. There will be a link down in the description below to Fortnite.gg, which is a website that shows like everything on the map, like chest spawn, floor loot, whatever. But utilizing these rifts in Zero Build, I think, is huge because they're infinite. And so, oh shoot, player under him. I didn't even know that. Hold on, we'll talk about that more in a second. This should be a kill. I have faith. Oh no. See, I feel like that's like just kind of doing too much. Like, just do RPG tack with an AR. Like, sure, you could RPG deagle and attack and just, like, hit them with everything and they die. But I think you just keep it a little more simple. Go RPG tack and you'll get kills. I don't think you need RPG deagle and tack. I would rather have an AR with that and then just focus on comboing the shotgun. They still get the kill, but I think it could have been a little bit cleaner. But anyways, there's 2 rifts at Salty. There's one in the basement of this house. There's one right here. These rifts are infinite. They spawn forever. There's also one here. And like I said, all the rifts in Zero Build are infinite unless it's like a rift to go. They do go invisible sometimes after somebody uses them, but you can still get them once they're invisible. And I think utilizing these rifts properly is one of the most important things to like take advantage of if you want to do good in Zero Build this season. Because, like I've been trying to point out, there's a lot in this area, and this is kind of the center of the map. So if you go Fatal, and then you want to go to Shifty, it's probably not best to just walk from Fatal to Shifty. Or like if you want to go to Tilted, it's probably not best to just walk here. You probably want to walk to Salty, rift to this rift, and then rift from there to Tilted. And it's kind of the same way. Like, I like landing Retail, I like landing Dusty, I like landing Underyard, I like landing Paradise. And after looting each of these pre-OIs, I pretty much always rotate to Salty because that's where the rifts are. This becomes like a central hot spot of the map. But it's also nice because not only are you going to get a decent amount of kills, but you have those rifts for rotation, which is really nice. So like, you can loot Paradise, rift to Salty, and then from here, you know, maybe there's no one there, you can just rift to here. And then just go wherever you need to go. Like, those rifts just unlock a lot of the map for you, and you avoid a lot of kind of the unforgiving or unpredictable nature of this season with like how open the map is at times. It like catches a lot of people off guard. I don't know. I just still see a lot of people complaining about how open the map is, and using the rifts mid game I think alleviates that problem a lot for you. You're still gonna have to deal with it in game, but if you want to deal with it in game, I think like Porta Fortresses are gonna be your best bet. If you're able to carry those, it's huge. But even if you don't carry them, taking advantage of somebody else's Porta Fortress and taking it from them is definitely a play that you can make. There's somebody in here farming something. It's probably an AI, because AI sometimes just get stuck farming. Oh, it's not. It's a bush. He could RPG that bush. So the bushes block 1 shot's worth of damage, but they don't block explosives. So he could have like RPG'd there from the get-go, and I think he would have hit that John Wick. This is an awkward angle because he's going from low ground to that guy who's already on height with the RPG, and he seems like very fixated on using the RPG, which may kind of be his like downside here. We'll see. Took a little bit of damage. It was just overshield though. It wasn't the end of the world. See if we can get that reloaded. But like sometimes using the RPG, hit that cheese. Sometimes using the RPG and being like too fixated on using it can be like a problem, I think. But the bush doesn't block rockets, like I said. So if he just like shot the rocket right away instead of shooting the tac shotgun, I think he would have hit that John Wick, and that would have been a very different fight. Because John Wick only has 48 HP, and someone did just take height on them. They like grappled onto the building. I don't like this route. You should go more into the divot. That way that guy up top can't shoot at you. He has minis, but he seems like fixated on using the chug jug, which the chug jug's great. It's gonna get a max HP, but I think you might as well use these minis right away and just give yourself the best chance of killing up, because he's seemingly gonna get away from that person that was sniping at him, but like who the heck knows what he's about to run into over here, you know? Like, I don't know. I don't relying on the chug jug stresses me out. I've never really enjoyed using it. Like, if I get it off spawn, I'm happy to, and you know, if it's the only thing I have, you know, it is what it is. But relying on it in situations like that is rough, because if that player, you know, had hit their shots or like was using an AR instead of the sniper, or just chased, I think that John Wick has a much harder time in this game. But now he's full HP. And this is kind of one of the reasons why I haven't really been wanting to make any spectating videos on this season, is the game kind of gets to the point where nothing is going on pretty often. So we've had a decent flow of action in this game, which is nice. But, you know, look at how big this circle is, and there's 13 people left. Like, the lobbies just die out pretty quick, and the way the zones are is just not it. I think one of the better changes that we've gotten in more like modern Fortnite is the way the zones worked in earlier seasons of Chapter 4 after they reworked them in Season 2. Like the games just flowed a lot better, I think, and they also ended sooner. I feel like games last season were like 16 to 18 minutes, and now when I look at my games in replay mode, they're typically like 20 plus minutes for a solos match. So it's like 4 to like 5 minutes, you know, 6 minutes is not the biggest chunk of time, but when you're percentage wise, it is, you know, like 6 minutes of a 20-minute game is over a quarter. And not only does that kind of, I feel like end games are a little bit more stale or like stagnant with like this type of zone, but also like the mid games are just like not as action packed. And I feel like a lot of people attribute that to the mid match objectives. I've seen a decent amount of feedback of people saying they just don't know what to do over the course of the game without the objectives. I personally like the objectives being gone. I think like making decisions throughout the course of the game and like, you know, putting yourself where you need to be to win the game is a skill. Like knowing how to like read the map and predict where players are going to be is a skill, and just knowing like, okay, island spawns, I'll go island and fight island and, you know, control island is like, I don't know, everything was just kind of like predetermined beforehand. So like this zone here, I think there's going to be a decent amount of people tilted, and I think there's going to be a decent amount of people salty. I would probably hang out over here. This player kind of left that area, but I would want to hang out over here and then rift. So we'll see when zone opens up. People get mad at me when I have the map up for too long in this, but like nothing is going on and they're looting anyways. But there's also a rift over here. Like there's a rift up on this mountain. Here. Like just right of him. So he could do what I'm about to talk about once zone, like kind of, once you see where next zone is. Like being near a rift around this zone is pretty nice, I think. Like going into third zone. Just anytime zone changes, honestly. Checking that loot. Okay, so zone didn't really do much, so there's not really that much to do. If I was salty, I'd probably rift and come like over here, just look for people, maybe over there. The player we're currently on board with doesn't have much to do, but let's say we ended up in a world where zone went over here, then I think the player we're currently spectating rifting and then like going to this mountain or this mountain probably would have been like the play to make. And that's why being near the rifts when the next zone opens is like pretty nice, because you could just like rift to whatever like the next spot is. And we're getting like decently late into the game. Like we're not quite late game yet, but we're almost there, to the point where like controlling some of these like power positions, like whatever mountains are in, can be nice to get in control. There's a player using the grapple glove. I don't like having the sniper out here, just AR them. Kind of like I was talking about before with the guy doing like pump deagle tack. Does he just not know this person here? It's like no need to be fancy. Just hit this guy when he's in the air, spray him, and then, you know, eliminate him that way. He's just gonna let him pass for some reason. Alrighty then. Maybe we switch players here. I don't like, this is kind of like I was talking about earlier. I feel like the games just get to a very stale point. We have this player hiding in a haystack. I've seen this player in the kill feed a few times. They might be worth watching. So they have a Porta Fortress in Greasy, and they're just kind of controlling it. And, you know, it's not the most entertaining thing, but again, there's nothing going on in this zone because there's so few people left alive. This person just eliminated somebody. Man, there's a lot of people nearby in this area. I think they eliminated the person that was grappling past the player we were spectating. They don't have any heals. They have a chug jug, but that's it. I would get in the shack and drink the chug jug and then get that drop. This player has no shotgun, but they have the deagle instead. And this can work. The shotguns this season are not the most like incredible, especially at range. If you kind of play range a bit more with the deagle, like not super far away, but you can play outside of shotgun range comfortably this season. I don't like this though. Again, you're just, you know, requiring too much of yourself. It's much easier to just use attack shotgun. And then also the mobility, the grapple glove is nice, but one of the things I really don't like about it compared to like shockwaves, the rift to go, or just the plunger grappler, is the fact that you can get shot out and then it stops you from using your mobility. Whereas if you're using shockwaves, rift to go, or the plunger grappler, the enemy has no say in whether or not you use your mobility. And that's why I was saying it would be nice to use your chug and then get that, whereas like some people wouldn't want to use the chug because it's the chug. You just got the drop, so it's like decent odds that you're gonna get some sort of heals out of that. He's gonna take the bolt sniper instead of the semi? Okay. I don't really think that's worth. I think even the green semi is better than the gold bolt just because of how much better the semi is. I think the green semi has a max headshot damage of like 247, and then like 90 something body. Like it's really good. And the fact that it's semi-auto is nice. Person's in yonder yard. We're on board with Ogre. He's a bush, and he's got a rift. So he's going to do what I was talking about. We can actually watch this. Not the most exciting thing, again, but there's not really much going on the map. There's been, like, 2 fights I missed in the past, like, 2 zones, and I can't know exactly when everyone's about to fight, you know? But this player here, I think, is going to be doing what I talked about before with the rift, where they're going to just see where zone goes, and then they're going to rift into a spot in zone. Okay, maybe not. Okay, maybe. I don't, they're a little delayed there. But yeah, he's probably just going to rift onto this mountain, I would expect. Unless it's taken, then he might rift there. This mountain stinks. This would be nice to go for, but I don't think it gets next zone. Just rifted to another rift. The thing is, the shifty mountain that I think he might want to go for, there is somebody already on it. But I think that shifty mountain would be the best one to be here. Doesn't have much cover, though. But I like looking at the zone, I think this is the most likely to get next. But it's just kind of like random to predict that. Gets shot, but doesn't lose his bush. That's nice. The player just didn't hit him at all. There's a porta fortress there. I would want to push that. Oh my gosh, this guy's got 10 boogie bombs. He's like just playing off the cheese boogie bomb strat, I think, in game. Like, I think he just wants to hide and then boogie people. Another person with a bush. Okay, here we go. Let's see if he ends up finding the person that is camping. They dropped their crown, the person that I was spectating before that's hiding as a bush over here. They're still over there, though. I just saw them move. Like, they're... I wish this guy would turn his character. Please. They're, like, right in front of him, basically, but underneath. I'm, like, scared for them. They also don't have an AR. They just have the sniper as a ranged weapon, which can be fine, but it kind of stinks if they're going to fight that person who's bushed up. They got sniped by somebody. Luckily for them, that person got a blank hit marker. They're over here. That's that John Wick from earlier. I kind of want to spectate that John Wick because I feel like he's likely to run into that person that we were watching before in the bush. Gonna rat it out. He has his crown dropped over here too to like lure people in, I think. Wow, he's actually hecka patient. Like he like actually just wants to hide until like it's the final person probably. Oh, this John Wick's coming near them, I think. Oh no, he's on the other side. Because the crown is where that bush player is. Dude, I'm scared for them. Like, this is actually stressful, like, more stressful than playing. They're all over here. And, like, I low-key kind of been rooting for that bush's downfall. But I think he's, like, back and to the left of this John Wick. Like, I think the bush is, like, over here, but I could be a little off. Because, like, that... Yo, John Wick, turn, please. That's that shack that he's looking at. Bruh. They don't know how close they all are. And this is the point in the game that really just stinks. It's just a bunch of nothingness, and then like a zone or two from now, everyone will be forced to fight, and then everything will kind of pop off, and that's like the way in-games play out in Zero Build this season, I'm not a fan of really at all. But like I get why it plays out like this. Like I don't blame these players because like this John Wick knows like if I do anything, I'm getting pushed. That guy knows if he does anything, he's getting pushed. Like the third parties are so prevalent this season that like it's just tough to play. And somebody like put a porta fortress, and this is like the porta fortress is nice, don't get me wrong, but you kind of make yourself a target with it in game, and that can be fine. You just got to kind of play accordingly. Like if you're this player here, you want to just not be involved in any sort of long fight. If somebody pushes you, if you can kill them, great, but you don't want to like take damage in order to kill them because like you just get chain third partied. It's almost just like backing up and playing a corner of your fortress can be like the best play to make. Oh, he's about to be near that bush, I think. I think he's about to like come over here. And that Mystique is there. What the heck? It won't let me switch players anymore. So we're just spectating them because I don't know what I just did. But we're going to spectate this bush camper. Yeah, they're like right next to him. Let's go. Does he die though? I told you I was rooting for this player's downfall. But now I can't like view their inventory. Or map. And I'm like scared to hit X because I think that might just like put me in a game, like, or it might start to ready me up. I'm not sure. I can't see this player's HP either. They just healed and it's messed up, but it is what it is. We're just gonna deal with this from the moment for the rest of the game. I don't know what they were doing there, if they weren't paying attention to the game or what, because like that Mystique just like walked up right on them and like shot them. And that was that Mystique earlier that I talked about not having a shotgun. Like if imagine she had attack there, this player's probably just dead, because her first shot went into his bush anyways. It just didn't count, and they still almost got the kill there. Like I said, the deagle can be nice, but I feel like if you're using pump deagle, that's one thing, but no shotgun at all and then deagle is just, you kind of have to be perfect, whereas like the tac user just doesn't, and it's like nice to not have to be perfect in this game. Like the easy to use option is just like pretty good, I think, with the tac. People in the Porta Fortress near him. I can't even see how many people are left alive either. This is kind of scuff. I don't even know what I did either. Like I like typically when I play the game, I never spectate or just back out right away. So it's like I'm not used to navigating these menus. I usually just spectate and then stay on the one person for the rest of the game until like as it like, you know, person gets eliminated and we spectate the next. I can't even tell where zone is going either. I think it's like going across though. I know it's shrinking towards him. Yeah, this is really messed up. I had grief to this video. Oh no, he's getting sniped. And again, if he starts shooting at this person, the other people around him are going to know he's here and probably act accordingly. Like there's just mutually assured passivity for like everybody in game this season. Like it is rough. I appreciate those zones that made the game like few minutes shorter, and like instead of just like a constant shrieking zone in game, we had like several half and halves that kind of forced people to make plays. Whereas now it just shrinks and then like zone pulls like so far. He's gonna go for a boogie bomb play, I think, or does he just get free height? Okay. He's got to be careful though. This guy's a double barrel. He doesn't know that, but he gets that kill. Does he get third partied though? Because that's like the thing I was talking about that you want to avoid, is just having like a messy fight like that. Got a chug jug to drink. I heard the player like falling under him. Cancels the chug jug. He's got more boogies though. I don't know if that's final player or not. John Wick, just push him. No, I thought John Wick was about to push him. He looked like he was about to when the boogie wore off. But this guy gets the chug jug off now. And I think that John Wick is the final player. So I think the player I'm on board with now just wins. Boogie's that, but no audio. So the players, or no like dancing music, so the player didn't get hit by it. If you are throwing boogies and you don't know if someone gets hit by it, you just gotta listen for the music. Because if the music happens, that means somebody, you know, is just going. Breaking that is huge too, because that John Wick is probably gonna have to rotate out that way, I would imagine. People can like hide up under these Porta Fortresses. I don't remember if this guy had mobility or not. Oh yeah, he has a grappler. So you just grapple to the other Porta Fortress and then look back and then boogie the John Wick and it's a free kill. Or is he all the way under? Either way, I think this player should win this game now. It's gonna be hard for John Wick to win. I think the biggest thing that this player needs to do is just not boogie themselves. If they boogie themselves, then that's going to be not great. John Wick might be dead zone. What is going on? This is a free win. GG's, yeah, not much they could do. That John Wick, I think, needed to push when the boogie wore off when this guy was chugging. Obviously, they can't know. Like, we have total information. But, like, disrupting that person's chug jug when they're somewhat weak, it would have been the play. Oh wow, I could have done that and we would have had numbers and everything. But that is gonna be it for this video. As always, if you guys found this helpful, informative, interesting, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you like some more, comment down below what you thought of this. Like I said, I don't think this season is really good for spectating because of how much downtime is in the game and how like dead the games can be. Just kind of makes it rough to watch these games. But let me know what you guys think. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, subscribe if you like some more, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.